Hey everyone, my name's Scott and I'm back with another update on my recovery from MOG antibody disease. This video is a little different. I'm actually recording this intro about a month and a half after the rest of the video due to some developments. This video should have been uploaded back in November, but I had some health issues which I will talk about in the next update after this one. But I didn't think there was much point in remaking this video as it is relevant and it touches on a few points which are important. So I'll leave you with the rest of the video and I'm going to be posting another update real soon.
A quick recap from the last episode was that my last MOGAD disease test result taken in December 2021, the result was a low positive, which was a slight improvement from the two previous positive ones taken in the past, and that I was going to be meeting with my neurologist to basically discuss the next moves and what that meant for my treatment going forward. When I met with my neurologist, we decided to increase the dose of azathioprine that I was taking from 50 milligrams twice a day to 75 milligrams twice a day from September the 22nd. And this is to try and turn that low positive MOG antibody test result into a negative one next time. This increased dose was supposed to have happened much sooner, but there was a mix-up with the hospital and the doctors, and they wouldn't allow me to increase the dose. But thankfully, we managed to get that sorted out, and from the 22nd of September, I've been taking 75 milligrams of azathioprine 2 times a day. Now, thankfully, there hasn't been any changes to my symptoms or side effects from the azathioprine increase, and I believe the next follow-up I'll have with the neurologist will be in December, and possibly I will also be having another MOG antibody test, but I haven't heard anything yet. So another update that I have is all about illness. Now, possibly as a result of increasing the azathioprine dose, I've found myself being ill quite a lot of the time. Shortly after upping the dose to 75 milligrams twice a day, I got an infection at the start of October. And then in the last 3 weeks, I've been feeling pretty sick. I caught COVID for the second time, which lasted just short of a week. And that involved a cough, cold, and flu-like symptoms. And I also lost some of my smell and taste. And after testing negative, I still felt pretty sick. And I did wonder if I've also had the flu or something else alongside it. And then last week, I've had to go to the doctors with another infection. So it's been pretty rough few months in terms of on that health side. Thankfully, as far as I'm aware, this hasn't actually affected my MOG antibody disease and it hasn't caused any flare-ups or anything. But it's a bit annoying. Now, whether this illness is actually due to the azathioprine dose being increased is debatable. But to say in all that time when I was taking 100 milligrams a day of azathioprine and I had no infections, no illness, and then to have two infections back to back shortly after the increase to 150 milligrams a day is a bit interesting, and I want to keep a track of this going forwards and to see if it continues. But otherwise, the change to 150 milligrams has been rather uneventful. Now, one thing that's actually been surprisingly changed my symptoms for the better is making some changes to my diet. I mentioned way back at the start of my recovery journey that I've loosely followed the Walls protocol when recovering from my transverse myelitis attack. But I found that sticking to the Walls protocol, it's quite a strict diet and I struggled to stick with it for long periods of time. Now, by chance, I happened to come across a nutritionist at one of the coaching sessions I attend, and she was interested in my story. She had never heard of MOG antibody disease before, but wanted to help. And I was a little bit hesitant at first, but I agreed, and we did some reviews of my current symptoms and my diet to try and understand what might be happening. Now, my diet was actually reviewed as not being particularly unhealthy, but it was reviewed as being too acidic and that it could be aggravating some of my symptoms. An acidic diet can also cause health problems further down the line, so it's important that I address this now. So we made some small changes to my diet, which included increased water intake, adding walnuts and pumpkin seeds at breakfast, and eating salad as a part of lunch. I also started taking a vitamin B supplement and drinking a green drink to give my body a boost of all the vitamins that it was lacking. The results of these small changes have actually been pretty big. My main symptoms of aches and pressures in my body and bladder appear to have improved, and I feel like I suffer from brain fog much less since making changes to the diet too. Overall, these results have been very surprising, and I hope that the impact of diet on MOG antibody disease patients will be looked at in the future and researched properly, as there could be a lot of potential here. If you're interested in hearing more about the work I did with the nutritionist and the diet changes I made, then make sure you hit the like button and let me know down in the comment section below. Now, I could go into much more detail about it and make a whole video, so if you'd like to see that, let me know, and if enough people are interested, then I'd be more than happy to share it with you guys. Now, something else lately that I've also noticed is in general MOG antibody disease is starting to pick up. So we've had 3 clinical trials announced for the condition recently, 2 of which are phase 3 trials, which is the last stage of testing before the treatment can be considered to be effective and basically get approved for use. The first treatment to go to a phase 3 clinical trial is a drug called rozanolixizumab, or Rozamab, and I made a video all about the treatment, how it works, and the clinical trial to test it, which if you want to watch you can click up here. Recently, there's also been the sRNA's RNDS symposium, which featured a lot of information about MOG antibody disease. It's starting to seem like this condition is really picking up a lot of recognition, especially at neuro events where it's not the only condition being covered. This also happened at another event about the treatment and research of multiple sclerosis called ECTRIMS. This was an event primarily aimed at healthcare professionals involved with multiple sclerosis, and MOG antibody disease was featured at the event, and this included a poster presentation of the Ignition Survey 2 results, which was featured in a research article, Fatigue is a Common Symptom in Myelin Oligodendrocyte Glycoprotein Antibody Disease. If you want to know more about the results of the survey and find out whether fatigue is an issue with MOG antibody disease patients, then make sure you check out this video here.